What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Put a Ring on It. This is the season opener, and before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, I do detailed reviews of reality shows. I may not hit every single scene, but I try to pick up the most important details of those episodes, as well as pick out some details that you may not have seen. And as I said in my intro, I am YouTube's number one commenter. So on this channel here, this channel, my channel, your channel, we all about the comments. I don't care what you got to say. The motto of the channel is say what you say. So that means you have a safe space. You may not on other channels feel like saying like, oh, am I commenting too much? Or can I say this? You are absolutely, your comments are welcome here. Whatever you need to say. So I just need you to do that. The only thing I ask is that we respect each other. You want to talk about anything you want, anybody on that screen, say what you say. It's an open door policy. So let me go ahead and hop into the review. Again, this is season 4 of Put a Ring on It, episode 1, and this is the introduction of the new doctor. You know, and let me just say, let me get the elephant out the room before we really go into it. I've been having a terrible, what do you call it, reality TV day. First we got, you know, Joy perpetuating the lies on camera, whatever. As I say, hey, you keep any secrets with that you want. I don't expect that, but don't have me believing that you're so bothered and hurt and you crying about your father. You can't walk you down the aisle. That's fake. That's phony. That's lies. I hate lies. So, it makes me almost wonder, what can I start watching? I might start watching documentary. This channel gonna change to documentary. I'm about the facts. Documentaries are my favorite type of programming to watch. If you don't know something about J Dub, so we gonna switch to documentaries. At least that way I know I can get some truth out of it. But let's go ahead and get into it. But I'm saying the elephant in the room is, of course, that the great Dr. Nicole is no longer employed. And that's the issue, because why? Guess what? I don't know why she's gone. If y'all know, please put it down in the comments. I haven't begun to research it. I'm still in shock that she's gone. To me, Dr. Nicole was the center of the show. I know all y'all people who didn't like her or her methods was pushing to get her out of here. Y'all finally got y'all wish. She's gone. So we got like Dr. Stacy as the replacement, and I'm just thinking like she's got some big shoes to fill. And again, I do understand. I'm old enough to know that, hey, the one constant thing in life is change. Nothing ever stays the same. One day you had your last day outside playing with your friends and riding your bike. One day you held a little cute little baby, and now the only time the baby talk to you is when they want to cash out. Life, life just changed. It changes. So it's no different. One day I used to have some hair, and that was a long time ago, but it changes. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm just saying, it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. R.I.P. Dr. Nicole, the great one. So let's move on. I'm over it. I'm done. I don't think I'm gonna bring it up no more. I don't think so. So you know, Emma, let me say one more thing. Well, people who are shocked by this or like thinking like, why is J Dub making such a big deal because they switched shows? Imagine if they took your boy Tommy off of Ready to Love without an explanation. He just disappeared. He vanished. Nephew Tommy is no more, and a doctor is replacing him, and it's needed. But y'all would feel some kind of way. So that's where I'm at with it. But like I said, I got to move on. But one thing I gotta say, I gotta applaud the way Dr. Stacy Johnson came into the show. She did acknowledge, like, hey, I know y'all wasn't expecting to see me or whatever y'all thinking. She didn't say Dr. Nicole's name, but she was just saying, like, hey, let me tell you a little bit about my story. I'm from Memphis. I went to Spelman, and the reason why I want to, I guess, work in this area is to show that, like, love really works, because she comes from a family where marriage and divorce go together like peanut butter and jelly. Her mother's been married 5 times, her grandmother 3 times. She didn't want to say how many multiple times her father's been married. And I can really relate to that story. I have the same thing going on in my family, and it absolutely shapes the way you view relationships and um just your perspective of it. It environment absolutely matters. And I just felt that that was very authentic of her. Like, you can really connect to the real, and that's what I want to know. Give me the real. We feel you, we understand you. She's very personable, very likable. She fits nicely in her veneers. She got her look is together. I'm with it. So, Dr. Stacy Johnson, you are now the great Dr. Stacy Johnson. So I accept you. So let's get into the couples. We got 3 couples. We got Dunbar and Chance, Ricky and Catherine, Joya and Joshua. Those are 2 weird names. Joya. Why you have to put an A on Joy? And Joshua. I never even heard that name. But let's keep going. Let's start with Dunbar. I should have had pictures up because this is new, but your boy J Dub is not gifted in the technical arts. You know, some of us have our strengths, but I pray one day I get there when I have more time to work on it, and I don't want to keep saying. I just want to be able to do it. I might need to take a uh, some type of mentee class, like like Shaquille on Married at First Sight. I need somebody to show me how to get with this technical stuff. So Dunbar, he's a ex NFL player, and he's been dating Chance for like 1 year, and he's like ready to get married like yesterday. To me, which is a red flag. Granted that they're older, I can tell they seem to be in their 40s. You know, it doesn't take all day to recognize sunshine. However, he's super persistent. And, the way he describes things is very like me, being selfish. Not so much like he's into the service, he's into receiving, not giving so much. And the fact that, he wants home cooked meals, he wants the house to smell nice, he wants his foot rubs, he wants his laundry done. And Chance is saying, like, hey, I do these things, but um Dunbar saying she does it in her time. And that sounds like to me like I want it done every single day, regardless of what you got going on. So, I'm sure that's an issue or whatever. But he's saying, he's going to continue to push and I guess try to mold and create this 40-plus-year-old woman. I don't really know how old she is, but that's what she looked like. Gorgeous woman, looks like Eva Marcel's mom or whatever. But um, it's just the words that's coming out his mouth is what I want. Forget who she is or forget what she wants. It's about me. Like the man, he's so dramatic. I'm a lion, and I need my lioness to go out and hunt for me. You know how it is. And everybody like, what's wrong with this guy or whatever? And he just comes off like super controlling and overbearing. It's quite alarming. And I guess the craziest part is that Chance seems to be okay with the kind of makeup of this relationship. She's just trying to maybe kind of put the brakes on marriage so much because I'm sure she sees the red flags waving and waving and waving. But you know, we have our first assessment by the great Dr. Stacy. She says that you got your way and you got your way. And now we need to make your way come this way. Like, really? Did Dr. Stacy go to Spelman to learn that? You got your way, you got your way. And we need your way to come right here. Okay, how profound. So be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. But I still like Dr. Stacy. But that was like absolutely I think a 6th grader could have said that. But anyway, let's move on to the next couple. We got Joya and Joshua. They've been together for 2 years or so. And Joya is like, at this point, it's been long enough. They've been traveling around the world doing their thing. And she's like really focused on having a family, being married to Joshua. But I I get a feeling that she really is just focusing on having the baby. She wants Josh's baby. And anything that Joy is going says like, "What's her timeline?" Joshua wants to add 6 months to a year to it. She's like, I wanna probably, let's say, get married, have a baby in 2 years and in 6 months." He'd be like, "Oh yeah, mine is 3 years and three and a half, 3 years and a half." He's gonna add. He's gonna keep dragging, pushing the goalpost because he's dragging her. He don't want it. He's going to continue to travel with Joya and enjoy her as long as he can. And I'm sure he'll have no trouble with letting her go because he absolutely doesn't want it. He don't want to have no baby. He want to keep going to Egypt and Bora Bora and Thailand and all that kind of stuff. You can't do that with a baby for real. And hey, it's like, Joya, open your eyes and cut your losses. I mean, she even gets like really emotional, just saying like this guy is not gonna be the one for me. You might not be the one for me if you don't seriously want to have a child. Like that's a deal breaker. And she's very emotional, and I like how communicative that she was. Even though she was emotional, she was letting them know what time it was. He was like, yeah, you're right. I'm not probably not the guy for you. So let's go to Ricky and Catherine. Ricky and Catherine, they've known each other for about 10 years. And Catherine pretty much had to break the relationship off early on because she had to relocate to take care of her grandmother who was sick, who's like her mother. And Ricky really didn't want to do the long distance relationships, which is understandable. That's not for everybody. And they recently reunited maybe about a year ago because Ricky actually went through a divorce. And uh, at this point, it's like Ricky is stuck in that pain of divorce. I'm sure he needs some therapy in trying to deal and heal with the demise of his marriage because it seems like he's been through it. But at this point, Catherine is still like, to me, what I see is in the friend zone, and I'm sure Ricky could leave that situation that they have, that little setup they're going on, just the way it is. He's fine with it. He says he doesn't want to get hurt. And to me, he doesn't see her like that. That's what I see. So let's go on to the first date. The first put a ring on a surprise date, and the first date is Chance, and she's getting picked up by her date Phil, and Phil looks like he could be Chance's son. And I mean, it looks ridiculous that he came to pick her up, and and at this point, it's like, are they serious by sending a much younger guy to pick up Chance? And it's like, how could they really connect? That's they having like nothing in common. They're like on two different planes. And I would say Dunbar went absolutely out his way to kind of show show Phil that he has the upper hand. He wanted to dominate him. He wanted to humiliate him. He'll when he came to the door, yeah. What's up, brother? What's going on, brother? Yeah, let me tell you one thing. First of all, you never step in a man's house and bring trash in. Take your shoes off, brother. Like he like talking to him like he really is Chance's son. Like he a mean stepdaddy or something. Nothing like something that how you would speak to another man. And at this point, it's just not clicking. It's not clicking at all. Um, because to me, I'm not sure I believe that, again, this guy's real. I don't believe that he that Dunbar lives there. It just everything looks out of place. And I don't know if Dunbar is a certified psycho or if he's there just for entertainment, because every season it has to have like some type of villain. It's like, it's crazy just like even deal with somebody like Dunbar. I would hope I would give my son something in his mind to say, if you meet a guy like Dunbar and you're in that type of situation, just walk away from the situation. It's a dangerous situation. He's playing a game with you. He's snatching this boy's manhood right in front of you. And he's doing that to show Chance that, he's superior to him or trying to come off that way. And it goes so far with like this man, like it's something I don't believe in playing with. This man Dunbar wants to have prayer with Phil as well as Chance. Hold my heart, and he holding Phil's hand like, Lord, he did a Martin Lawrence prayer, like, let us bow our heads. Lord, please let them be safe on their date, and make sure the doorknob don't hit them when you sure enough split them. Amen. No, that would have actually been funny if he did a Martin joke. No, he said, Lord, with these are the same hands that's praying for this young man, but this is the same hands that will bless his ass, you know. And I'm like, you playing with God like that? You supposed to be a man of God, and you talking about blessing somebody's, that don't have nothing to do with God, and it's absolutely ridiculous. That it shows me how messed up in the mind this man is, and you know, he's like, something's wrong with him. I'm gonna go into it. I think something wrong with him. Dunbar has a look in his eyes that, like, if this put a ring on the situation, don't go the way he want, he could possibly put Chance in the backyard under the ground. I believe that. Like, I think he got that in him. It's like, you can't be playing with people who are not, right up here. It's just something you don't play with. But as far as Phil and Chance going out, it was like a little light date. They were joking. I thought he did a good job for when you take your stepmother out on a date or whatever. You did the best you could. It was just jokey, jokey, jokey. The only time it got serious is when Chance opened up about losing her mom, but that's when Phil kind of got serious and was listening, and Chance respected that, and she felt that. But of course, she sees or feels nothing for this kid, and I mean, and then, like, once they got back home to, you gotta say, back to Dunbar's house. We got back home to Dunbar's house. Dunbar actually made this young man bring him some food back. He actually brought some food for this man. I'm like, you just gave it all away to him. It just, like, it was some French fries, but still, he just displayed his dominance over him. Like, man, I'm not bringing no food back for you. Lucky I don't bring a brick back to bust your window or whatever. You acting crazy, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Then it just got worse. Once Chance got in the door, it was like Dunbar was trying to make out with her in front of Chance. She's like, "Ooh, well, let's go and get in here. You want me to do it? Well, brother, you can step your way up out of here." He didn't want her to say good. He didn't want Phil to say goodbye to Chance, give her no hug, no kiss, no nothing. He didn't want nothing to go on. So, like, I hope this is for TV, but in those eyes, it's in the eyes. Dunbar is off. Call the authorities if anything happened to Phil, or anything happened to Chance. It's crazy. So the next date is going to Joya. Now she has a date with Jamie Foxx's light skinned first cousin. And if OWN really wanted the drama, what they could have done is send her date to pick up Chance, because they would have butt heads and it would have been something. It might have got dangerous. They might have to call the police or something. It would have really been explosive. And because Jamie Foxx's cousin just came in there spitting all kind of, little slick comments and little jabs towards Joshua, and complimenting Joya right in front of him. Like, he ain't care. He like, I'm here to, steal your girl. He trying, you know, it was just like a competition. But Joshua is like an older version of Phil. He's kind of little bit docile. That's what I would say. And I don't even know if it's so much as Joshua is docile. I don't think he cares that much. But it comes off that sometimes Joya kind of goes out her way to try to make Joshua care or be jealous or whatever. That reminds me of, like I said, that a past couple from the season. I can't think of, it's been so long, but it's just it's given like a real toxic love and vibe. So they go out on a date, and Joy is talking to Jamie Foxx's cousin, and the flow is fine or whatever. I don't see really a connection. Joya can appreciate like where he is in life and his perspective, but again, does she want a life with him? Not so much. And something we learned in the date. I didn't know. I was like shocked. My mouth was on the ground when Jamie Foxx's cousin asked Joy, like, well, I assumed that you didn't have kids. You have kids? And Joy says, yeah, I got 11-year-old. I'm like, what? I mean, she was in the confessional crying at Josh, like, I gotta have a baby tomorrow, and this ain't right, and you might not be the man for me. I'm like, you already got a kid. This man don't want to have a kid with you. He ain't the man for you. I'm thinking like she was saying, like, my clock is ticking, and this is gonna be my only child. I'm like, wow, shoot, I'm with Josh at this point. Why are we gonna start over? That's fine. Keep keep your 11-year-old baby and let's keep going to Dubai. That's what I want to do. But I get it. Some people have not had positive experiences of having a children. They want to have a child with their person. So I kind of get that. And that was pretty much it for like, their date as far as once they came back. Joya went out her way to like, well, you didn't want to set any boundaries. Guess what I did? What did I do? I took a napkin and dabbed the corner of his mouth, and she kind of manipulated the situation. Josh is like, oh, that was kind of motherly or nurturing or whatever. You did that on the first date. And guess what else he did? Jamie Foxx cousin kissed my hand. Like, kissed your hand on the first date? I mean, she was like playing him like a violin. It was like ridiculous. So then, she playing with him and then Joy end up getting mad. He was like, well, yeah, well, I guess he's being a gentleman because I'm a gentleman too. So I would kiss a woman's hand on the first date. Or she's like, you would? You got somebody at home. Like, Joya, you got somebody at home too while you dabbing on his mouth and letting the man kiss your hand. I mean, it was almost ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Like two kids playing with each other. So let's go to Catherine's date because that was crazy. Um, Catherine's date was almost like this guy was like a stand-up comedian. It was like everything he was saying out of his mouth was like pretty funny. And was it me or it was like Ricky doesn't have like a romantic vibe about Catherine at all. He went out his way to like let us know, he let her date know, like, hey, I ain't took her out in a while, like flowers. I forgot how much flowers cost. I ain't bought no flowers in so long or whatever. And it was more so like he was taking his his younger sister to the door to meet her date, but except they kissed. It's just not there. It's not there at all. So you know, Ricky don't care. He ain't worried. He got his buddy at home. They play video games or whatever. So it ain't no issue or whatever. But he need to be concerned because after seeing Catherine on her date, like they had like true chemistry. Like you felt it through the screen. That's what it looks like when two people are connecting and engaging, and like they had great conversation. They found out that they have like common interests. He kept her laughing. Like she could really like leave. she could leave. She could leave Ricky for him, but nobody would really do that. I don't think they would. It's thinking like you gonna leave somebody. You ain't dealt with that situation. You got issues, and then go right to somebody else. No, I think this show is really just kind of to open people's eyes to what they have or what they don't have. So this was to me a great date, but in real life, Catherine's day, like, oh, once she found out she played video games, like, oh, you bae, we're gonna shut this down now. I'm taking it. I'm taking her. So they have a ending group session like they always do in every show, and it actually got a little heated and crazy. But I'm gonna say Dr. Stacy must have had some extensive training in dealing with mentally ill people because I love the way she broke Dunbar and Chance thing down. Like basically calling Dunbar like a controlling daddy and questioning his need to dominate so much. Like where does that come from? Like that is like a serious issue or whatever. And what might be more alarming is again that Chance is like for this type of situation. And at this point, Chance doesn't want to be saved. She doesn't feel like Dunbar's controlling or anything is wrong with the situation. He's just being a man. But Dr. Stacy broke that thing all the way down. Like question, like this is what you call what a man is like in real life. Like she just put the mirror and put it out plain in front of him. She's like, listen, this behavior is not conducive to a healthy relationship. Boom. Like, ain't no more to say. I love she put it down like that. And she's holding these people accountable, even though Dunbar needs medication to receive that information, you cannot run from the truth. And she did that. And you can see, like, she not gonna let questions or situations slide. She gonna call them out. She gonna bring them to the front. She gonna keep it real. So I'm really enjoying Dr. Stacy. So that was the end of the episode. It looks like the season is gonna be real live, real toxic. It's gonna be a thing because that's what they say. Hurt people hurt people. It's gonna be a problem. These people are hurt and bothered. So drop down in the comments. Tell me what you thought of the first episode. Something I missed, something you want to add, and let's get to chatting about this. And as I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.